Summer is upon us, and with it, all of those summer barbecues, picnics, and pool parties. In today's video, I am sharing with you some ideas for how to do those things on a budget, how you can host a really fantastic party without completely breaking the bank. So if you are hosting, hopefully you have known for a few weeks or at least a few days, and you can watch for sales in your area, especially at your local grocery stores, for items that would be great for a party. We are coming up on Memorial Day weekend, and typically speaking, I find really great sales around this time on things like chips and snacks, soda, meats that are really good for grilling, and also ice cream and frozen treats. The sale on potato chips is actually one of the reasons that I'm in the store, because it is the lowest price I have seen in months. They are 3 for $6 when you buy 3, which is just $2 a bag. So I am definitely going to be picking up a few bags of these, and I'll tuck them away in the back of the pantry so that we don't go through them super quickly. But these are going to come in handy when we're trying to pack lunches and dinners for afternoons and evenings at the ballpark or at the aquatic center or at outdoor swim meets. So definitely going to stock up right now. Ooh, they even have the poppables included in the sale. I love these. Even though you don't get as much in the bag, I might have to pick up a couple bags of those for $2 a piece. Pepsi products are 3 for $12 for 12 packs. So are Dr. Pepper and Diet Dr. Pepper, but somebody could not wait to get themselves a Diet Dr. Pepper. Looks like this is pretty picked over and the cases left are worse for the wear. And the Coke products are a 20 pack, 2 for $15. So it's time to whip out the old calculator here and see what the better deal is. Is it better to get 36 cans for $12? That comes out to 33 cents a can. Or is it better to get 40 cans for $15, 37 cents a can. Of course, it is worth the extra 3.5 cents per can for me to get Coca-Cola products, because I'm not a big fan of Pepsi products. So I'll probably still pick up the Coke Zeros. There was just one left. Maybe I'll see them somewhere else in the store. Found some. Woohoo! A great meat sale they have going on in my local store right now is on ground beef. The 85.15 is on sale for $3.98 a pound whenever you buy it in a family pack, which if you're hosting a party, you might want to make a lot of burgers. But if you are making burgers, try making them a little smaller. I find that at parties, people are typically grazing, right? People are gonna snack, they're maybe gonna have a few drinks. If you make these big, gigantic burgers, a lot of times some of them are gonna go to waste. I don't know how many times my husband has made burgers, and he makes delicious burgers, and we've been throwing away bits and pieces or like half of a hamburger because we made them too large and people just couldn't eat them. If people want more, they'll get a second one. To help with this, I would suggest buying smaller buns. The store brand buns are typically a lot smaller than the name brand buns. You could go kind of bougie if you want and get some of those fancy slider buns and make little ones, but honestly, I don't think people are going to complain about small sandwiches or burgers at your party. If they want more, they'll just get another one, and you don't end up wasting as much, and you don't have to buy as much to make big giant sandwiches. Another money-saving tip if you want to serve meat at your cookout or your picnic or your graduation barbecue or Memorial Day party is to do kebabs. That way you can slice up the meat into small pieces, and you can add some inexpensive summer veggies like zucchini, yellow squash, bell peppers, tomatoes, and you can kind of intersperse those vegetables on the kebab with the meat, and that way people are still getting some of the meat, but they're not having like a big giant chicken breast that you grill perfectly on the grill. And yet another inexpensive meat option that I see on sale a lot this time of year are sausages, brats, and smoked sausages. And in fact, smoked sausages work really well on kebabs because they're already fully cooked, so you don't have to worry about the meat reaching an internal temperature before the veggies are done cooking. Once the veggies are done cooking, it's done. So if you buy the fully cooked smoked sausages and slice them up to put on your kebab, that could be a really cost-effective way to feed people at your party. This is a really fantastic price on cheese, so I'm definitely picking a few blocks up. Ooh, we want cookie. Another big expense whenever you are entertaining are plates, cups, utensils, bowls, especially if you are using disposable. I noticed that these items will go on sale around this time as well, and I totally get that at the end of a party, after I have cleaned and prepped and cooked and hosted and entertained, the last thing that I want to do is a bunch of dishes. But we can save a lot of money if we are willing to use just regular plates, bowls, cloth napkins, regular utensils instead of purchasing stuff that we throw away every time that we use it. With summer upon us and a lot of people entertaining outdoors, you're gonna see a lot of stuff like this in places like Walmart and Target. Heavy duty plastic plates, cups, wine glasses, bowls, other kinds of utensils, serving dishes. Dollar Tree also has a really great selection of ceramic. I am personally getting ready to invest in a big set of dishes that I can use for entertaining like this. And I personally am gonna stay away from things that are themed or that have sort of seasonal colors or patterns because I wanna be able to use it multiple times throughout the year. You have some pretty generic, sturdy plastic stuff here in plain colors. They've got the pink and they've got this kind of teal color and the white color that has a little bit of a pattern on it. Here's what the dinner plates look like. I kind of like this because it's got a big lip so people won't be dropping stuff or spilling stuff as they're walking around your yard. I am gonna go the melamine route. It's not really plasticky, but it's also not ceramic. It's really sturdy. And I'm gonna go with something pretty generic like a plain white because I have crunched the numbers on this, and when I add up the cost of paper goods and utensils, even if I'm getting them on sale, I would only have to host a gathering about 4 times in order for this stuff to pay for itself. And when we aren't using it, I'm going to store it in a big plastic tub that I can set in a closet or maybe out in the garage so that it's not taking up cabinet space on a regular basis in my kitchen. Also, that would make it really easy to loan it out to friends who might want to use it. So if you have other people in your life that do a lot of hosting, you might consider going in together on a set of really sturdy, reusable dishes, plates, bowls, cups, utensils, and just kind of pass them around as you need them. And another helpful hint I saw on Pinterest about this is to get some kind of big container or tub to set outside on your patio or by your pool or wherever it is that you're entertaining with a sign that says dirty dishes so that people can then just toss them in there. And if you don't want to clean them at the end of the night, at least they are all in like one spot until you can get to cleaning those up maybe the next day. I actually invested a few years back in a glass carafe like this that I can fill with water or tea or maybe even sangria and use over and over again. And I will say that I have used it several times. It looks like these right here at Walmart. The glass ones are $19.94. These Pioneer Woman carafes are really cute. They're kind of heavy duty plastic so they wouldn't be as cumbersome to carry around as the glass ones are. And it looks like they are priced right around $20. Now, if you just cannot bring yourself to invest in the reusable plates or you just don't want the hassle of washing them and you are serving mostly finger foods, these little baskets at the Dollar Tree are fantastic. They come in a 4-pack for $1.25 and you can just line them with a little bit of tissue paper, and then when people are done eating they can just throw the tissue paper away, and then you would probably just have to rinse these out at the end of the party. So these are another really inexpensive option that's kind of halfway between. These are reusable and you could just get new tissue paper to line them with whenever you're entertaining. These little mason style jar mugs with the handle at Dollar Tree for $1.25. These are a really good size for like iced tea, for water. They're not super small, but they're not really large either. Also for sangria, these would be great. I saw this idea on Pinterest and I thought it was brilliant. These pop-up laundry hampers, if you put a trash bag in them, they make a really great trash can. You just have to line them with a trash bag and then you just fold them up and store them, and then you don't have to buy a big bulky trash can that you need to store in your garage or your shed or somewhere in between parties. These would probably also work with that same pop-up trash can idea, but these are also a really easy to store game for your outdoor party as well. $5 here at Dollar Tree. When it comes to desserts or treats for your summer party, I feel like there are lots of really great inexpensive options. I personally stay away from bakery items, which are gonna have a high markup since they are ready-made. And in the summer, I think it's really easy to do this because you've got things like ice cream and popsicles and watermelon, which is a really fantastic summer treat. Speaking of watermelons, summer is watermelon season. We are starting to see some in our stores now. And this is a really inexpensive summertime sweet treat that goes a long way. I see watermelons going on sale for $5 or less. I've actually seen them less than $3 at certain times during the summer in my particular area. And it's just so refreshing. I mean, is there anything better on a really hot summer day than a nice cold piece of watermelon? Let's talk for a second about how to pick a good one. And if you've been around my channel long enough, you've heard me mention some of these things before, but when I'm choosing a watermelon, I want a big yellow spot like the one you see here, because that is where it was sitting on the ground while it ripened. So if it doesn't have that big yellow spot, it was probably picked before it was ripe. I'm also usually looking for some of these brown spots, these brown veiny things. This is where the watermelon was pollinated laminated. I always look for one that's more round than it is oblong because for some reason in my experience, those tend to be sweeter. That could just be correlation. But another great indicator that you picked a good one is if you go to pick it up and it seems heavier than it should be, that means that it's probably full of really sweet, yummy watermelon juice, and it will be delicious when you slice it open. When it comes to chilling the watermelon, which is, I believe, the best way to eat it, it usually takes about 24 hours for a watermelon to chill in the refrigerator for me. If I'm in a hurry, I might actually put it in my chest freezer for a couple of hours. I've also put it in an ice chest before with ice water and it cools down in 1 to 2 hours. You don't want to slice your watermelon though until you are ready to serve it. So resist the urge to slice it and then chill the pieces of watermelon, because as soon as you slice it, all of that sweet watermelon juice is going to start seeping out of the watermelon and you end up with a bowl full of juice at the bottom, and that juice isn't in the fruit anymore to consume. Since ice cream is on sale in the summer, or you can buy it by the gallon even in regular grocery stores, it's a really inexpensive treat to offer at your parties, and you could even set up an ice cream sundae bar with things like crushed up candy or cookies or chocolate syrup or caramel to put on top, and people can just create their own sundaes. And if you have some of these little silicone cupcake liners, you can actually save yourself some time when you're trying to scoop it out by placing these inside of a muffin tin and then scooping a big scoop of ice cream inside it and then popping it into the freezer. So then when it's time to make those ice cream sundaes or serve that ice cream, all you have to do is pull that whole tray out of the freezer and start to pass out the ice cream. It's already portioned and in little serving cups and ready to eat. But one of our favorite inexpensive, really refreshing, delicious summertime desserts is this 4-ingredient yogurt cream pie that I've been making for a couple of years now. It just calls for a graham cracker crust, 2 small containers of flavored yogurt, a small package of flavored gelatin, and then an 8-ounce container of Cool Whip, plus a 1/4 cup of hot water, but I don't really count that as an ingredient. All I do is dissolve the gelatin in the hot water, and then I stir in the yogurt, fold in the Cool Whip, and then pour it into a prepared pie crust and pop it into the freezer until we're ready to eat it. The ingredients for that pie usually cost me around $4 to $5 depending on where I'm shopping. It's really easy to put together, and I love the versatility of it because you can play around with different kinds of yogurt and jello to change up the flavor of the pie. Does anybody else have a ton of these ice packs hanging out, maybe in a garage refrigerator or a chest freezer, or maybe even in your inside the house freezer? Well, these have cooling capability as well. So to save on ice, if I'm doing like a big bucket for drinks or a big drink trough where people can serve themselves, I will actually put those in the bottom or in the bottom of an ice chest that I'm using, and then use the ice over the top of it. So it will help cool down the beverages using less ice. I won't have to purchase as many bags of ice to cool down a big ice chest or drink trough full of drinks. And speaking of drinks, you can also save a lot of money by skipping the bottles and cans of this and that and the other and filling up several pitchers or carafes with water or tea. If you want to dress that up, you could throw some fresh fruit in there, like slices of lemon or orange or other citrus fruits, or look at some ideas for spa waters that would include something like cucumbers or strawberries. I also personally think that it is permissible, depending on the occasion, to ask your guests to bring their own beverages. My husband and I usually take a middle of the road approach to this, and we will usually let our guests know that we are providing some sodas and water and maybe a little beer and wine, and that they are welcome to bring a drink of choice. And where side dishes are concerned, if you're hosting like a barbecue style party, corn on the cob and potatoes are decent options, and those can also be cooked on the grill or in the crock pot. Of course, a pasta salad is usually a pretty inexpensive option since pasta is pretty cheap. And different kinds of dips or spreads can be a really cost-effective way to offer a side dish as well, like homemade salsa or pico de gallo or homemade guac with tortilla chips. Leave me a comment and let me know what tips you have for hosting a summer gathering on a budget. You may be giving a great idea to me or to other viewers who are watching this video. And if you want to see some other hosting on a budget themed videos, you can check out these right here.